Hey there, Danielle Matthews here. I'm coming to you live from Florida. And if you are new to my content, I help people that are on a healing journey to use their darkest moments as stepping stones for growth. And today is Monday. It's a book club day. Every Monday at noon Eastern Time, where I live, we have book club. And we have been discussing Dr. Wayne Dyer's work. We're on chapter 14. And this book is called The Power of Intention. If you haven't caught book club up to this point, don't worry about it. This book is incredible in that each chapter is standalone. Each chapter has a focus. The focus of this chapter, the title of it is my intention to appreciate and express the genius that I am. And in this entire conversation through chapter 14, basically he's showing to us that each of us is connected to the infinite. We're connected to the power of intention, and we, in fact, can bring this genius out. So for those of you in book club, let me know as you join so we can get started today. And I'm really excited. I think this, as always with his work, it gets me thinking in a different way. Hey, Peg. Good to see you. But his work always gets me just going a little bit deeper. And the quote that he used to start the chapter was, "Everyone is born a genius, but the process of living de-geniuses them." Morning. Good to see you. I hope the weather's nice in Lakewood. Awesome. Looks like Larry's over here with us on Facebook, and Juliet. Hello, hello. I had some trouble with my internet this morning, so I am praying that it stays up for us and that we're fine. But what did you guys think about that quote? Everyone is born a genius, but the process of living de-geniuses us, or de-geniuses them. Why do you think that is? I have some thoughts about what happens, but I'm curious, why do you think that life has this impact on us and it actually pulls away, from us living in the genius that we are? Hey, Christy, good to see you. For me, I feel like it's a desire to fit in. I don't know about you, but I find this, I watch this in people, especially like think about when you're kids. You have this desire to be accepted, to be fit, to fit in with everybody. Larry says people knock people down. Yeah, you don't want to be one of those people that, is knocked down. Lou is saying limitations that we place on ourselves. Yeah, certainly. Peg saying so much green and loads of rain in Lakewood. Nice. It's the same here in Florida. Morning, Marie. The other thing I was thinking is the media. I think there's so much of like how we ought to look, how we ought to dress, what we ought to eat, the things we should take, all of these things. Hey, Karen. All of these things, it's like we're being shown all from the external world how life should look. And so many of us just kind of remove this connection that we have to the divine, to the infinite, to be able to actually live uniquely as ourselves. Christy says fear of being wrong stops us. Yeah, absolutely. Juliet saying we forget and the influence of others, picking up others' habits. Yes. Peg says for some reason humans just get so easily distracted, and I agree, they want to fit in. Yeah. It's a big piece. So he asks us to consider that all human beings have within themselves the same essence of consciousness, and that the process of creativity and genius are attributes of human consciousness, meaning we are the divine. And these attributes, in order to be creative, all we need to do is tap into the divinity. He says we're each uniquely brilliant. We've had uniquely brilliant ideas. We've created something that has astonished ourselves. We've made the perfect shot, maybe in a round of golf, or done something like this. I'm wondering, as you read this, were you going, I never considered myself to be a genius or to have moments of genius? Is there anyone that, wants to share when they've had a moment of genius? Because I think it's important to shine light on this and realize, wait, I do have this characteristic. I do have this trait. This is something. Uh-oh. Guys over on Instagram, I got 20% batteries. So we might not make it, but we will try. I think that, for me, I've seen it in moments of training or when I'm speaking where everything just lines up and it's as if like the idea didn't come from me, but it came through me. Has anyone ever experienced anything like that? Maybe it's in how you pull together an outfit, right? This moment of genius. I know Juliet is always playing with fashion, and she, I'm sure, has moments of genius as things come together. Think about what it is. I know Marie loves to bake. I'm sure there are moments of genius in the kitchen as it all comes together. These are the moments of genius that I'm curious to hear about from all of you. I think some of you are on a lag, maybe because you came onto the live late. Peg's here with me. Nice. So with that, let's dive into more. So he says that oftentimes, we see genius in others, the Einsteins of the world, right? Mozart, these people that have gotten a lot of publicity for what they've done. But what he says is, remember, they emanated from the same power of intention as you did. They have all shared the same life force animating them as you do. Your genius is in your very existence, awaiting the right circumstances to express itself. Remember that it's as if we're each a unique instrument, right, in the orchestra, and each of us is going to sound uniquely when we allow ourselves to do that. And it's like life is waiting, for you to realize the music that's inside of you and to let it go. Right? I'm never going to pull together the best, fashion outfit. It's not going to be me. That's something Juliet will do. With baking, I don't have the patience to sit in the kitchen all the time. I randomly get excited, but I know Marie does it all the time. Right? Think about things that you have and that you do in your gifts, because they are gifts of genius, and start highlighting them. He says basically genius is the ability to access high energy attractor patterns. It's not a personality characteristic. I've never thought about genius this way. I thought, there's just some genius in the world. Like Elon Musk, to me, the man's a genius. But he just has allowed himself to access these higher attractor patterns. Peg says in nature and in doing creative projects, she can really connect more directly to source. Yeah, absolutely. So he writes that the genius has always attributed his insights to some higher influence. So oftentimes, if you were to speak to someone that we call a genius, they say, I don't know where the ideas come from. They just flow to me. They flow into me. I create the space for them and they've come. This is the beautiful thing. So don't look at it as, I wasn't born with it, so I can't have it. You were born with it, and you do have it within you. It's just you haven't opened it up to access that flow state. All right. He says, when you shift your thoughts, emotions, and life activities into these higher realms, and you deactivate the lower energies of the ego, the God force within you begins to take over. It's so automatic that it travels faster than your thoughts. Have you guys ever felt the flow state? Have you ever been in flow? It's amazing what happens. It's happened to me a couple of times. And you kind of snap out of it and go, what just happened? And where did that just come from? Because it's flowing to and through you so quickly. It's amazing. Yeah, Karen says, yes. I share those stories. These stories are wonderful because it just shows that each of us, doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, we all have that ability to touch the divine, to connect with the divine, and to allow it to flow through us when we get our mind out of the way. So stop getting into these ego-driven thoughts. When we release that's what he's saying. When you go to these higher realms, this is when, you can connect in at a deeper level. Peg says it's happened to her while she was painting. Beautiful. Yeah. Seek those moments. He gives us some how-tos, of course. He says, genius can show up in as many ways as there are human beings. How beautiful is that? Juliet says, yes, when I'm writing and creating costumes. Yes, I knew it. She says, boom, flow. Yes. I love the idea of each human being has their own uniqueness that can come out as genius, and to try and find that in one another, right? What is that saying? Don't judge a fish by how well it climbs a tree. The fish's genius is not in climbing. The fish's genius is in swimming. It's the same for each of you. Like each of you has your genius in a very specific thing. And the genius will maybe change in life, or you try different things and see what really gets you into the flow state. But try it out, I love that he kind of went into, how do we do these things? He says, to expand your reality to match the expansiveness of the all-creating field of intention, you have to peel away your old habits of thought. These habits have pigeonholed you to a point where you allow labels to be attached to you. These labels define you in many ways. I am curious, how many of you have said one of these phrases, or one of these phrases has been said to you? She's never going to be very artistic. I've said that to myself. I don't know who said it to me, but art's not Danielle's gift. She's never going to be artistic. And I thought that for a long time. He's a tad clumsy, so he's not going to be an athlete. Like, have you ever said that to a child? Oh, well, it's okay. You're just a little clumsy. Like, sports aren't going to be your thing. Or did someone say that to you? Mathematics has never been her strong suit. I can't tell you. I taught 6th grade math for a little while. I can't tell you how many kids came in already just dejected. Like, Miss, I'm just not good at math. Like, who told you that? You know, you're 11 years old. You have plenty of time to get good at math. Why wouldn't you be? He's a bit shy, so he won't be good at dealing with the public. Right? Don't let somebody put a label on you. Marie says, that's happened to me when I've prayed with others. I say things that just came to me and I didn't even know where it came from. But that person says, how did you know I needed that word? Yeah, you're in a flow state. Beautiful, Marie. Juliet says, one day I was on the beach reading one of his other books and I was writing. I felt like I was channeling through him. It was the most amazing feeling. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So thinking about these phrases, these terms, these potential labels that have been put on you, what do you say to yourself? I've always said like, well, I just said it today. I'm not a fashion person, right? I'm not creative. It's coming from a space of knowing like I've explored it and it doesn't bring me fire and energy, so I don't spend my time there, right? It's not because I believe that I can't. With art, you know, after my car accident, I couldn't do so much. I picked up something and started drawing. I was blown away with what I could draw. It's like I've always said, oh, I'm left brain. I'm not right brain. Whatever. It's all baloney. Candy says, as long as my checkbook is balanced, then I'm good at math. I love it. All right. So he says, think about these socially imposed habitual ways of labeling people and I always think about how you're doing it, right? Catch yourself. Be the change you want to see in the world. Don't label other people. Don't use these things to describe other people. Don't cut somebody's option off. Maybe their method of genius is going to come out that way later, but they have to, have the confidence to keep with it. You never know. All right, he says, trusting your insights. These ideas in your imagination are distributions of God taking place. Your insights are divinely inspired. Can you think about that for a minute? So your intuition, when you get this intuitive hit, right? What he's saying is that is a distribution of God. How beautiful. That's the divine saying, here's some inspiration. Here it is for you. Like, and how dare you not act on that? How many times have you got an inspired idea, but then you didn't take action? Well, that inspired idea is going to go be given to somebody else that is going to take action. You know what I mean? He says, banish any doubt. Having the thoughts and squelching them because you think they aren't good enough or that they don't merit any action is denying the connection that you have to the power of intention. Like, how dare you doubt an idea that is given to you from the divine? I mean, think about that. Our mind doubts so quickly. It just talks about, oh, you can't do this. There's no way, this, that, and the other. Like, there's lists of things. And the reality is that inspiration was given to you. Maybe it's never been done before. Maybe that's why it was handed to you, right? And you have to allow yourself to think, wait, this is the divine speaking to me. This is what I'm meant to do. This is the path I'm meant to follow, not the one that's of doubt and negativity. It's going to leave you stuck and in a dark place. Go to the one that feels new and it feels maybe a little exciting but nerve-wracking, right? That's the way you need to lean. He says, the only caveat is that the thoughts must be in vibrational harmony with the 7 phases of intention. So don't act on thoughts that do not align with the 7 phases of intention, right? Sometimes we have impulsive thoughts that are not good. He's saying, no, not those thoughts. He's talking about the ones that are creative, that are full of love, that are full of kindness, that are full of beauty, that are full of abundance, that are full of receptivity, that are full of non-judgment. I feel like I missed one. Ever expansiveness, right? All of those things that align with the 7 faces. Christy says, I love that. How dare you deny an idea that was given to you from the divine? Yeah. Like, honestly. I sat with that. I read that again and again and again. Because when there's just a new perspective put on something? It's like I've always known, oh, that's my intuition. But, like, what is that really? No, that's an intuitive hit from the divine. How dare I question it? Like, who am I to question that? Like you get into this space, you realize this and you go, whoa, Like, whoa, 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 whoa. That ego is really full of itself. Really full of itself. He says your creative impulses are real, they're vital, they're worthy, and they crave expression. So I'm curious, have any of you had a creative impulse recently? Any creative impulses? Larry says, I thought this part was great. Inspiration must be encouraged. Yeah, exactly. And if you want more of it, you've got to lean into it. How dare indeed, Peg says. Yeah. I'd love to hear if anybody has any ideas that they want to share, or maybe they're just, between you and the divine at the moment. That's fine, but act on them. What I will say is act on them, don't doubt. All right, appreciate the genius in others. I love this. There was, many of you maybe know her. I know Peg knows her, Karen Riley. She used to say, I know people by name, talent, and spirit. And I think what a beautiful, beautiful way to connect with other human beings. Don't just know their name, right? That's this expression in this form, but know them by talent and spirit. Know their genius, know their essence, and call it out. Share these things that you see in other people. He says, appreciate particularly the ways in which they express their creativity. Appreciating the genius in others actually attracts high levels of competent energy to you. So I have a challenge for you all. Who is one person that after we hang up here in 15 minutes, you can go and you can message them and just appreciate them for the genius that they have? Maybe it's somebody on this book club that you know. Something that you can say that is absolutely true. It's not forced. It's absolutely genuine. Someone that you appreciate the way they come to the table, the way they dress, the way they cook, the way they paint, the way they, make you feel. Who can you go message and let them know, I so appreciate this about you? That's what I want you to do today. So you can put the name in the chat. You can tag them if you want. You can do whatever you'd like. But put a 1 if you're willing to go do this. Picking one person to just go share what it is that you love about their genius. You can authentically say to them, I absolutely adore this about you. I'm so grateful that you show up in this world this way. Hey, every time you do this, it makes me smile. Whatever it is. Who's willing to do it? Marie's willing to do it. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Peg's willing to do it. Good, good, good. I think some of you are on a little bit of delay, so I think I'm going to be getting some 1s later on. There we go. Juliet, Karen, Candy. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, guys. Remember, that helps you, right? As you give what you want to receive, it's just a simple principle to follow. He gives ideas. Okay, so here we go. So if you need some ideas, he says, tell somebody you like how they dress. Tell them you like their little tattoo, that you like their signature, that you like their mannerisms, that you like their personality quirks. Appreciate their unique genius. All right. And then the next piece, which I thought was really profound, he said, genius and simplicity, uncomplicate your life. This hit home for me a lot. He says, genius thrives in a contemplative environment. How many of you just fill your day with things? Peg knows. She was my accountability partner. She's like, Danielle, you do more in a day than people do in like a week. And it's like, I just go ding, 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 and I'm just going. And I had a friend of mine who she does coaching and just amazing work. And she said to me, Danielle, you need to just shut off at like 4 o'clock and you don't touch your phone. You do nothing else, because you need to allow for these ideas that are coming to you. You need to allow for them to percolate. You need to create the space for something new to be born. If you're so busy with the current activities and everything that's going on, you're never going to be able to expand from that space. And it's like, whoa, because I used to be busy all the time. And so I just slowly started to remove things in the evening, in the afternoon, etc., so that I create that space for myself. And it's like so nice. And so hearing him talk about it just reconfirmed that for me. He says, an uncomplicated life with fewer intrusions tolerated in a simple setting allows your creative genius to surface and express itself. The simplicity establishes a link to the power of intention, and your genius will flourish. So that was part of the reason, I'm just speaking for myself, part of the reason I moved to the forest where I've moved. There's like not much around. Okay, you want to go be entertained, you got to drive like an hour and a half to go do something. It's very simple living out here, and I love it because it's just back to the basics, right? Enjoying a nice day outside, dealing with the yard, gardening, like going out for a swim in the springs, taking the dog on a walk in nature, like just taking away all this noise that is in our world these days and just cutting it out and saying, look, I don't need to be entertained. My ego mind doesn't need to be entertained by the external world. I'm going to create this space so that my intuition can get deeper, so that I can actually connect in to spirit, to the divine, and be able to bring more through. I want, like Dyer says, don't let your music die in you. Like, I want my music to start singing. So that was a choice I made, and it's made a big, big difference. It's been nearly a year and a half that I've been out here, and I love it. Now when I go into the city, I get a little overwhelmed. I'm like, whoa, there's too much going on. My body has been desensitized to it. So it's a lot for me. But that's just something that, all of us, like, what's one thing that you can just uncomplicate? What's one thing you could delegate? What's one thing that you could just stop doing that's not actually adding value to your life? Think about things that you can start to declutter. Maybe it's decluttering your space. We did that too. We recently just kind of went through, we reorganized how the house is. You'll notice my background's gonna be changing a bunch because we're trying to figure out where to have my desk. But, the space too. It's like your brain has to take in all this inputs. Clear your space. Clear your space. Karen says, I walk the dogs in a park every morning, becoming one with nature. Yeah, it's beautiful. And you probably notice it if you miss a day, right? It's just, you're like, wait a second. Let me get back to that. Peg says, you're definitely singing right now. Thanks, Peg. Thanks, Peg. All right, so he gave us our steps, as always. So let's review them. Let's figure out which step we're going to take action on. Step 1 is declare yourself to be a genius. I love that. So I want you, I am statements are powerful. Whatever comes after I am, that's you. So I want you to write, I am a genius. I'm going to write it too. Declare it. I am a genius. I'll write it over here on Instagram. No, I don't want to touch Instagram. My phone, I want it to make it. So we're not going to use that. Not going to use that anymore. I am a genius. I am a genius. He says, a statement of intention between you and your creator, okay? This isn't something that you need to go tell everybody in your world that, right? But just say this, repeat this in your mind, connect with it. You have a unique gift to offer this world, and you are unique in the entire history of creation. I mean, just feel that. You are unique in the entire history of creation. There has never been a Karen. There has never been a Candy. There has never been a Lou. There has never been a Larry. There has never been a Juliet. There has never been a Christy. There has never been a Peg. You are unique. You have genius. Thank you for writing it. Thank you for affirming it. Amen. Exactly. Well, we did step 1. So step 2. Make a decision to listen more carefully to your inner insights, no matter how small or insignificant you may have previously judged them to be. So I want you to think about how you're going to capture them. Are you going to start a journal? Are you going to have a spot in your phones, maybe on your notes app? Where are you going to start to capture this? All right, because they're going to come, right? People call them downloads. Where are you going to put your downloads? How are you going to organize them? How are you going to make sure you act on them? You don't lose them because they can be fleeting. He says, those tenacious thoughts that don't go away should be viewed by you as intention talking to you, saying, you signed up to express your unique brilliance. So why do you keep ignoring the genius in favor of settling for less? If you need to kick yourself, that's a great sentence to kick yourself with. I'm going to read it again. You signed up to express your unique brilliance. In this lifetime, your soul came into this manifestation to express your unique brilliance as you. So why do you keep ignoring the genius in favor of settling for less? Why are you playing small? You came here to play big. That's what it's saying. Step 3. So Lou's got her composition book. Perfect. Where are you gonna put these things? All right, step 3, take constructive action toward implementing your inner intuitive inclinations. Any step in the direction of expressing your creative impulses is a step in the direction of actualizing your genius. Go act on it. Whatever goes in that book, Lou, you take a step towards it, right? And the universe loves speed. The faster you act, the more things will come, and the less space there is for doubt to creep in. right? Because the more you do, the less you think, right? And the less you think, the more you do, and so on and so on. All right, step 4. Know that any and all thoughts you have regarding your own skills, interests, and inclinations are valid. And you can keep them private. These intuitive thoughts can be between you and God, you and the divine, you and your notebook. If you keep them in the spiritual domain, then you don't have to introduce them to your own ego or to the egos of others, where they can get squandered. So keep them in a special place and in a special space. But be sure you also act on them. Step 5, remind yourself that aligning with spiritual energy is how you will find and convey the genius within you. I loved this sentence. I think it's one of my favorite sentences from the whole book. He says, trust yourself as a piece of God and your genius will flourish. I mean, how incredible is that? Trust yourself as a piece of the divine. See yourself as an expression of the universal mind. And your genius will flourish when you realize who you truly are and what you're truly connected with and what is animating, this physical body. You will realize and you will trust, and then it will flourish more. Yeah, I loved it too, Christy. Trust yourself as a piece of God and your genius will flourish. Juliet says, I signed up to express my unique brilliance. Claim it. Nice. Beautiful. Step 6, practice radical humility. He gives the example of how many people are incredibly humble, and he shares about his own work. And I loved this because he's reflecting, about how these words are coming to him as he's writing, and how he's wondering, like, who are these thoughts? Are they even mine? Is Wayne Dyer writing, or is the divine writing? And is the God writing this book with me? And will these words live beyond my lifetime? They did, right? Wayne Dyer is not on this earth anymore. But these words are living. And they're exciting me, they're exciting each of you. I mean, it's just like, it's incredible, right? The legacy you can live because he was in flow with the divine. It's beautiful. Step 7, remove resistance to actualizing your genius. Resistance has been a big theme, right? The resistance is really the ego. He says, your source knows that you're a genius. Any thought you have that challenges this notion is resistance, which will inhibit you from realizing your intention. Your source knows that you are the divine made manifest. And that's all you need to know too. Anything that doubts that, get rid of it. Step number 8. Look for the genius in others. We talked about this. Who is the person you're going to message? You got 4 minutes and you're going to go message them. If you don't see it at first, spend some time and some mental energy looking for it. Maybe have this be somebody that you're going to see physically today, right? Maybe it's a child, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a neighbor. Express something that you love. Maybe your neighbor is always, decorating or does a really nice job with the garden. Let them know you love it. And he says, step 9, simplify your life. So what can you remove today? Right? These are all action steps all of us can do. Okay? What can you remove today? What are you going to remove? What can you take away that can simplify your life? He says, take the complications, the rules, the shoulds, the musts, the have-tos, and so on that are in your life. By uncomplicating your life and removing the trivial pursuits that occupy so much of it, you open a channel for the genius within you to emerge. What are the things you're feeling like I have to do, I must do, I should do? Get rid of some of them. And then, of course, step 10 is gratitude. Remain humble while staying in a state of gratitude. Those who attribute their inspiration and success to their ego soon lose this capacity as they allow the approval and attention of others to destroy them. Remain humble and grateful, and more of your genius will surface as you remain in a constant state of expansion. Absolutely beautiful. Guys, I can't believe it. We're on the last chapter, which we read first, but I think it's going to hit a little bit differently this time because we're a couple months into this book now. So chapter 15 is the last chapter. It's where we're going to finish off next week. And I put in the Telegram chat a poll to see if you guys wanted to keep book club going. It was an overwhelming yes. A couple people said, well, it depends on the book. Fair enough. So we will pick a book. I'm really liking Wayne Dyer's work. I'm almost thinking that we do another one of his to just like really solidify this in. Peg says Power versus Force. I know he's talked about that book a ton in here. It's a heavy book. That's a big book from what I recall, but maybe it'd be great for a book club to read together. So toss out ideas. Keep them coming. We'll look into all of them. We'll vote on it. It's not just going to be me that chooses. It'll be all of us that choose collectively. So let me know. Power versus Force has made it on the list, Peg. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life by Wayne Dyer. I think this is another one that has made it on the list. So let me know. You can just reply in Telegram to let me know any book ideas that you have. And we'll be back next week. We'll then figure out what book it's going to be. We'll maybe take a week off and start in August. I don't know. I have to look at a calendar, but it might make sense to start in August. And guys, let's expand the book club. So think about who you know that would enjoy something like this, that maybe felt weird jumping in the middle, and we can invite people to join book club, because I think the more people we have, the better. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Peg says, I 100% want to keep the book club. Yeah, me too. I love it. So yes, indeed. Keep this thing going. I think it's helping all of us, and what a way to start the week. So, all right, lots of love to each of you. Go get into action. Go reach out to that one person. Tell them the genius that you love about them. And I can't wait to hear how that goes. Put in the Telegram chat, if you have any feedback from doing that. And we will talk next week, guys. Bye.